Stuff is very interesting in that neighborhood. Neighbors are scared of their lives. Neighbors have told us that they were threatened by none other than the Shamefoots. So again, this case is rather interesting. It's insanity. We are having our lives threatened. We are having we're chasing other avenues that include what is said in the press release by the attorney. Rich, wealthy individuals need to understand that there are laws and there are boundaries, right? And the boundaries were crossed a while ago.
Help. We know we got good leads, man. We got good leads. Yeah, the rich stepdad, the rich family has been telling us where he's at. We have good leads. No, you don't. All your leads are dead. You have nothing.
For entertainment purposes only and is all alleged. So I went back to the September 12th, and what I found out from that press release from Joseph Lesniak, is there were three types of people that they said were responsible for the interference and threats regarding Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case. We're going to talk about those three types of people, which led me to the Code of Ethics of Sumner County, which led me to a complaint against the county commissioner. It's probably not the only one, but it shows unethical behavior while doing business that represents the county. Joseph Lesniak, September 12th. And we've read this before, but I did not target in on two words: law enforcement. We have received threats of all kinds, from minor warnings to serious grave threats. And the title, by the way, is Legal Action Imminent Amid Threats and Interference in the Search for Missing Teen Sebastian Rogers. We have received threats of all kinds, from minor warnings to serious and grave threats. We take these extremely seriously and will not stand for, tolerate, or accept such actions in any form. Wealthy, powerful individuals. Now listen, he targets three types of individuals: wealthy, powerful individuals, including those in law enforcement. Wealthy, powerful, and those in law enforcement must understand that there are rules and boundaries that must be respected. Power only responds to power. Okay, so this is a legal professional. He would have found verification and validity before he used his reputation to put that in an immediate release, meaning he can verify the threats and the groups that he is most likely speaking to. Powerful people, wealthy people, law enforcement. Okay, so when we talk about law enforcement, that's, in my opinion, Sumner County Sheriff's Office at the local level. Perhaps, interfering. Is that why there's no evidence, or no evidence maybe brought forth, or maybe things not investigated thoroughly? I don't know. Powerful people could be people such as law enforcement again. This is all alleged. We're just surmising based on what was said. City commissioners, board members, community leaders, judges, we don't know. Mayors, we have no idea what that means. District attorneys, but could it be what's slowing down finding Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers? Could it be bigger? And then we talk about the wealthy. Wealthy people oftentimes do affect community politics, and I'm wondering if that is what's going on. So we have powerful, wealthy, and law enforcement that are being addressed in threats, possible threats and interference in the search for missing teen Sebastian Rogers. And then I think about that. That makes it big, doesn't it, friends? That makes it bigger than just a little boy who walked out. That makes it bigger than a little boy who's just missing. That's really big if these three types of individuals are involved in keeping individuals from searching and locating Sebastian. Those are leaders in the community. Those are public servants. Those are powerful people. Those are community leaders. It's really concerning, my friends. There is a place that you can file an ethics complaint, and I have one that I want to read to you today. It's a commissioner from District 15, and this is a commissioner county commissioner from District 9 filing the complaint. To whom it may concern, this is a typed copy of my complaint submitted to the county law director. That is whom you send your complaints to, by the way. On April 17, 2023, at the official county commission meeting, during the nomination of the 8 candidates for the Board of Construction Appeals, Mr. J. Wes Wynn, who is the county commissioner, you see it on the thumbnail, that is the complaint. He is the county commissioner for District 15. He called in question the 8 candidates for the Board of Construction Appeals on the list submitted by the committee by Commissioner Jeremy Mansfield. He stated that he was not in favor of one of the candidates, as one of them had a criminal background with tax and financial issues. He would not name that individual, but alluded that the commissioners could do their own research. By not stating who the individual was, Mr. Wynn placed all of the nominees under suspicion, attacked their character, and slandered them. Now, this is important, friends, because the reason he's acknowledging it because it has to be disclosed if you have knowledge, but he's also not disclosing the name of the individual, and that's a good way to help get people through when you want them to get through in a small town. Okay, it's a game and a trick they play, allegedly. So Mr. Wynn placed all of the nominees under suspicion rather than the one person, which allegedly tells you that's who he wanted on the board. Attacked their character and slandered them. Mr. Wynn, in his defamatory remarks towards all candidates, alluding to nefarious behaviors. One of those candidates was my spouse. This behavior and remarks has potentially damaged my spouse's credibility, my credibility as his wife and commissioner, and my family. He has accused my family of criminal behaviors. Mr. Wynn has defamed myself and my spouse. He accused all of them of criminal misconduct and brought doubt to serve on this committee. Mr. Wynn, in his statements, can be viewed on the official county video. Thank you, Mary Gooning, District 9. Wow. Business, getting someone you want pushed through onto a board by trying to disclose information as general across all 8. Do your own research. So you've disclosed it, but you haven't said who it is. Allegedly, in my opinion, that means that's whom he wanted on the board. Okay, very, very strange behavior going on in Sumner County. Sumner County does have an ethics committee of 5 commissioners or citizens that look over the corruption complaints, is what I call them, in my opinion. Is this what is an example of what is keeping Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers' case from being solved?
In this case, the family has so much money. He thinks they think they could just get away with everything. I mean, like, now I understand that, like, you know, like, you beat like the 3 wives that you had, your 3 ex-wives. You knocked the braces out of your daughter's teeth, and you're still not in jail because mommy and daddy. So, like, that's what's giving you the confidence to think, like, oh, if you did something, I'm going to be out of it because mommy and daddy got me. That's a shame. You're 50-something years old. Like, is that why that it wasn't your child? That's why the only thing that you spent was $1,000 to find the kid? You know, like, I've never seen, me personally, I've never seen, I don't care if you're a stepdad or a stepmom, okay? If a child goes missing, you would at least try your best to find him, let alone, like, not giving a crap. That's your son. Like, that is your son. That's an outrage. Like, that's an outrage to anywhere. That's an outrage to the Chinese community and anything.
It seems as though Eric Craddock has moved over to using Facebook more often now in the present day. So here we are in the present day where Eric Craddock is the senior chief petty officer at the Navy Reserve, and that's still until the present day. Now, for those of you out there who have not heard about Chief Craddock still being an active member of the Navy, if your spidey senses are going off, mine were too when I first saw this. So he is definitely closer connected and more associated with the Proud Feet, and that makes me pause because for a very long time I couldn't understand the disconnect between Seth and the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, mainly because Seth is part of and affiliated with law enforcement. So he's a correctional officer, and in that regard, they back the blue. We hear this all the time, back the blue, back the blue. But are naval and military ties stronger than backing the blue? I don't know. I'm not part of any type of law enforcement or Navy. I do have many family members. My family mostly served in the Navy. However, that doesn't necessarily mean if I asked somebody that is actively serving in the Navy what they thought about the subject, that they would know what the connection would be between Eric Craddock and the Proud Feet. But when I look at this, that's the connection that I'm making, is mainly that they are all Navy. Could this be the reason why Sebastian's home was not treated like a crime scene when that was the last place that he was? And some other little nuances that I found while following Eric Craddock was that he's following multiple real estate agents and insurance agents. And so, with that being said, and Chris Proudfoot's mother being a realtor, I think that there may be a larger connection there as well. And it sure would explain a lot. Another connection that I found was to multiple churches, one being Long Hollow Church. And so I don't know if that has anything to do with the vigil not being held there that was scheduled, or they were trying to set up a vigil there and it fell through. Another strange connection, especially with what we were speaking about earlier with the SA, I see that Eric Craddock is still actively following Adventures with Purpose. And for those who don't know, the main proprietor of Adventures with Purpose has been brought into court and has accusations against him from a family member stating that he was making that young woman participate in what Eric was calling, quote, a snuggle struggle, end quote. Just like any other predator, guys like, say, Shitty Diddy Combs, Cuff Daddy, they do get the keys to the city sometimes before they're caught. But always pay attention to when they call what they're doing a fun nickname, or they show how proud of themselves they are about the nasty things they have done to another human being. Just like the snuggle struggle, P. Diddy liked to have called his a freak off. And make no mistake about it, they are proud of themselves. They think they're going to always get away with it, and they will always try to say it was consensual. Of course, I am simply making comparisons, and I am not accusing anyone of any crimes that they have not committed. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty, until they're in a court of law and they have been convicted by a jury of their peers or a judge. I'm just sharing what I've learned, what I've observed through my research, and some of the conclusions and opinions that I have based on what I have seen and past experiences of my own. I have learned a lot through therapy.